Hello, everybody. It's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick. How are you today, my friends? I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let me just see that we're in here. Oh, and that we're live. It looks like there are some folks in here already. Hello, Miss Sherry. Hello, Miss Dawn. How are you today? Oh my goodness, it is a blazing hot day today. And naturally, that means that my air conditioner unit in the house has been working overtime, and of course, it's trying to be on the fritz. So, Tinker Tom is having to stay home from his fire meeting tonight so that he can hopefully get our air conditioner unit back on track and get everything squared away. I think he's going to be able to. And if not, well, thankfully, the Stampin' Studio has its own air conditioner unit, so we'll just live downstairs for a little while. If you are a homeowner, you completely know and understand. If it can, it will, and inevitably everything does. Break down, go wrong, go crazy, go wonky, go stupid at some point or another. But it is what it is. All right, let's see here. Sherry T from Florida. Hello, how are you? What's the weather like down there? Is it as hot as it is here? I think last time I had heard Florida was actually a little cooler than we are, which is really weird. Let's see. More folks are coming in. Hello, hello. Come on in, say hi, let us know where you're tuning in from. All right, this evening I am going to be playing with some brand new product, and I'm hoping that you guys are really looking forward to it. These are products that will be coming out in the holiday catalog that will go live in just a few short days. Can you believe that it's already September? Holy cow! I can't believe it is already September almost. Just a few days left. Anyway, what I do know and what I am thrilled about is that once September comes, we enter the Burr months. And with the Burr months come pumpkin spice and all the things nice. Yes, I am indeed a pumpkin spice girl. So, because of that, the products that we are going to be using tonight is trying to will the Burr months to get here just a little bit quicker. All right, Sherry says it's 88, feels like 99 right now. Oh my goodness, you are not any cooler than we are, my friend. Oh, I'm ready for the summertime to be over with and to have the nice, beautiful fall weather. I want bonfires and hoodies and cookouts and s'mores and pumpkin spice, everything, of course. Okay. Oh, Sherry says fall is her favorite time of year as well. It really is absolutely fabulous. I just love it. Okay. And Sherry says, I can't wait for the Burr months and all that comes with it. Absolutely. And it's so wonderful. I've got two Sherrys on here this evening interacting. So I'll try to do Sherry and Sherry T. How's that? Okay. So anyway, let me go ahead and switch things over so that you guys can see what I'm playing with tonight. How's that? And there we go. So we are going to be using the More Than Autumn Stamp and Die bundle this evening. I'm really excited about this for several reasons, not the least of which is because it has all the pumpkin spice things, right? We've got pumpkin pie, pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin spice donuts. Yes. And for those of you who are not quite on the pumpkin train, you're left of brain, you are the apple spice people. And well, I guess whatever. We've got you covered too, friends. We have you covered too. We've got apples, we've got the cinnamon sticks, apple spice, apple pie. If you really wanted to, you could turn that into apple pie instead. But of course, we all know it's smooth and creamy and dreamy. It's a pumpkin pie. All right. Obviously, you know which team I'm on. So while we're talking about that, comment down below and let me know, are you team pumpkin or are you team apple? Now, if my friend Lisa were here, she would be screaming through the rooftops that she is all about the apple. She says apple is the most superior fall flavor and has no problem sending me memes all the time to tell me exactly that fact. So we have this fun little thing that we go back and forth with each other. And I send her pumpkin spice memes. She sends me apple memes, and it's just so much fun. Regardless of which one you are, regardless of which side of the fence you fall on, I think you're really going to love the More Than Autumn Stamp and Die bundle. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a better look at our stamps and dies. This one is really cool because, they're all really cool, but one of the things that's really cool about this bundle is that not only you have dies for the little images here, right? But you also have word dies. And I just happen to have pumpkin and spice already sitting out because, yeah, but we've got apple. We even have cocoa, y'all. So regardless of whether you're an apple person or a pumpkin person, you're probably a cocoa person, right? Everybody loves cocoa. So we've got a cocoa one there. We've got marshmallows for the cocoa, and we have a candy cane, so you can put that in your cocoa. A lot of really cool things that you can do with this Stamp and Die bundle. So I thought that you guys would really enjoy checking it out, okay? All right, now another product that I'm bringing in is the new Forever Plaid 3D embossing folder. Now, I'm bringing this in because look at how big this bugger is. I can fit 2 4 by 5¼ inch pieces of cardstock in here. So I can do 2 front layers for cards at the same time, which is absolutely fabulous. So I can show you, this is 4 by 5¼ to give you an idea of how big these embossing folders are. Stampin' Up! Is just coming out with these new big jumbo size folders, and they are fantastic. So 2 papers, absolutely wonderful. And the pattern is spectacular. So we're going to play with that a little bit this evening as well. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I would like to do a fun fold. How would you guys feel about that? So let's start out. For those who have never been to Think Tank Thursday before, let me tell you just a little about how it works, okay? Think Tank Thursday is a fully interactive paper crafting get-together. I only have a vague idea of the project that I want us to create ahead of time. And I will ask you guys questions throughout the live that will help me design and create our project, okay? So for example, we're going to need a card base, right? That's what we'll have to start with. And so I'll give you a couple of options to choose from. And you'll want to go down in the comments and you'll type whatever your choice is, okay? And then as we go on throughout the course of the live, I will ask other questions, okay? All right, so getting started, before we choose the card base, I'm going to ask if you would prefer to do a cocoa themed card or a pumpkin themed card. So I'm not going to give you an apple theme tonight. It's all about choices, and I don't want apple. Do you want to do cocoa themed card or do you want to do a pumpkin themed card? Put a comment down below and I will get some cardstock bases for us to choose from. Okay, so cocoa or pumpkin, what's it going to be, friends? Put it in the comments below. Okie dokie. And then as you're doing that, I'm going to pull out cardstocks. I see Don says cocoa. I have a feeling, I have a feeling that one's going to be a pretty unanimous choice, actually. All right, cocoa it is. All right, friends. So we have a couple of choices. All right. Mom says cocoa too. Ah, cocoa's going to be a nice one. Okay, so question number 2. Are we doing a crumb cake card base or are we doing an early espresso card base? Comment and let me know. Crumb cake, espresso. Okay. And I will go ahead and get some of the cocoa elements from the stamp set. Crumb cake or espresso? What card base are we gonna do? All right, espresso. Yes, okay. You guys are making it easy on me tonight. Thank you. I love it when everybody's choosing the same thing. It makes it so nice. All right, now let me just clean off. I've been playing already, so I'm cleaning off a little bit of my stamps here just to make sure that I don't accidentally stamp something in a color it wasn't meant for. Espresso. Very good. Okay. Early espresso it is. All right. Now then, let me think. If I want to do a fun fold, do we want to do... Enjoy it while I can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do we want to do a gatefold card like this or a Z-fold card? Do you guys know what a Z-fold card is? Let me see. I know I've got one here. Okay. This is a Z-fold card. Okay. Actually, this is a double Z-fold card, but this is a Z-fold card. And then this is a gatefold card. And actually, this is a gatefold explosion. We're not going to do the explosion tart, but if you would like a gatefold card or a Z-fold card, okay? gatefold or Z-fold? All right, Sherry T says Z-fold. Okay, that is what we will do then. All right. For a Z-fold card, you cut your card base at 4 1/4 by 11 inches. And then you score it on the long side at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. Okay, and that's the base of it. So basically what we did is we made a standard 4 1/4 by 11 inch card, scored at 5 1/2, and then in half again on one section, which is the 2 3/4. Okay, so when you're laying it out, it's scored at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2, and then you fold it back on itself like so to make your Z-fold. Okay, now for the strip, because I really like to do those, let's do this one at 1 1/2 inches. And then you're going to score it at exactly the same. So you'll score at 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. All right. And then for this piece, you're going to put it the opposite way of the card. So where this one has short, short, long, this piece will go long, short, short. Okay? So it will attach like this. And that is how you set up your card. Okay? All right, now that we have that, our next question is going to be, do we want, let me see here. Our accent layer, our color, do we want it to be Old Olive or Copper Clay? Okay, so we have our espresso card base. Are we going to do the next layers as Old Olive or Copper Clay? All right, so comment and let me know. I'll pull them out just so that there's no glare from the plastic. Okay, Old Olive or Copper Clay? You guys are really killing it tonight. This may be the thing that makes it go off balance, though. I got one for Copper Clay. Okay. Go on, man. Is that cooler word supposed to be copper, Sherry Gray? Okay. Yep. Okay. Very nice. All right, then. Okay. Now, I think that if we were to do a close border, so this section right here is the size of a card base, right? It's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So if we were to do 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, that would give us just a little bit, like that much of an espresso border. And we could use the plaid embossing folder for the panels that go right here. What do you think? Good? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 4 1/8. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and cut it at, well, yes, I don't want to confuse anybody. 4 1/8, and then I'll do the other piece at 1 3/8. Okay. I was gonna just cut them together the same and then cut them, but you know, don't listen to me. All right. Now let's turn this piece over. We're gonna do 5 3/8. So this is gonna give us our inside layer. Okay, like that. And then 2 5/8 here. And 2 5/8 here. All right. I'll set those aside for just a minute. And then the strip, we'll cut it the same way, right? Remember, we're doing each of these pretty much exactly the same. So I'm going to go ahead and cut my first strip at 5 3/8. And then the other two at 2 5/8. 2 5/8 and 2 5/8. Okay. Oh, look what I did. Took that bugger off for no reason whatsoever. Okay, now this is a 3D embossing folder, and what that means is the embossing folder is really thick and it gives a really good deep texture to your project or to your paper. So what we want to use is the big thick platform, and then we want to use the thicker embossing pad. So if you have Stampin' Up! Ones, they'll be gray. I believe that even the regular Sizzix ones are also gray. So not sure if like Tim Holtz and Spellbinders and all those are the same, but they will all have a thicker embossing platform there. Okay, so whatever you have, you're wanting the thick embossing platform as your deal there. Okay, now then, I'm going to put just these two pieces on my plate here. Okay, and then run it through. Sorry if I bounce just a little bit. Clickety clank. I'm waiting for the click. There we go. And then I'll run it back through one more time. There's the click. It's so loud. It's kind of like waiting for the Jack in the Box to go pop. All right, now then you can see we have this really incredibly detailed embossed paper. You see that? Isn't that awesome? Okay, so we have that. I'm going to set that off to the side, and let's go ahead and assemble this part. Grab my tape runner. There we go. Okay. I really like the little fine borders. I mean, I like all the borders, but I think the fine ones are really nice. Okay, let me put a bit more. Now, I actually use quite a bit of adhesive on embossed layers because the embossing is really deep detail, and I don't want my paper to lift. Hi, Anne from Nova Scotia. How are you? How are you today? Obviously, I'm about to lose my voice for some crazy reason. Nova Scotia's a bit away. How's it going? There we go. You're just in time to help us create a beautiful hot cocoa card. Okay, here we go. Adding plenty of adhesive to make sure that it doesn't come off. And then we'll put this piece down. All right, just like so. Okay, now I want to put my layers on top of this piece as well. So they'll go like that. And I'm thinking that I would like to put some white layers here, and maybe we can do a little bit of stamping, like create our own background. I think that would be really nice. What do you guys think? Hi, Laura. How are you? Checking in from Florida. We have another Floridian in the house. Anne says, great here. It's just getting dark and cool here now and would love to have a hot cocoa. Oh, that's wonderful. What time is it there, Miss Anne? Are you in Eastern time with me? Okay, let me put these down. Okay. I bet you guys have the temperatures that I'm wishing we had just now. Oh, and I just used the last of that adhesive. Let me grab another one here. Did I use all of those already? Okay, well, I did. Hold tight for just a moment. I literally just refilled my stash of refills over here. It seems like just yesterday. Oh, you're an hour ahead of us. Okay. I don't know where the time zone change is. Right there. Okay. To change the adhesive runners here is super simple. You're just popping off the case. Throw this part away. I know I hate to have to throw so much plastic away, but there's no way to refill that. And then you're just going to line the post up with the hole right there, and then the other one in its hole, and it's good. And then pop the cap back on and you're done. Easy peasy. Laura wishes it was cool there. Miss Laura, I wish it were cool here as well. In East Tennessee, we hit, I don't know if we hit 90 degrees today, but I think so. It's supposed to be crazy, crazy hot the next couple of days. But then supposed to be cooling down again a little bit by Saturday. I think Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. I hope that's true. Here we go. It won't last long, I doubt, though. Okay. Now we have our little base, and this is turning out so cute already. We've not even done anything. All right. Now, I had mentioned cutting some white cardstock and making our own designer series paper. So that's what I'm going to do now. For each of these, I've gone down 1/8 of an inch step, right? So this is 5.5 by 1.5, and the next layer is 5 3/8 by 1 3/8. So the next one is going to have to be 5 1/4 by 1 1/4. Okay, and then of course we would do the same for each of these. Laura says it won't cool down here until November. Sister, I hear you. I hear you. Okay, now I'm going to use some of my scraps here and see what I can do with them. So let me do 1.25. Okay. And then 5.25. And let's see, this one's 2.75. This is 2.5/8. So it's 2.5 that we need. Okay, and then let's see here. 1.25 by 2.5. And we'll see if we are on top of things today and if we got that right. Okay, so indeed we did. There we go. Yes. And look at us go. All right. Okay, then. Now I want to do some stamping. So I'm going to set that up there for just a minute. I'm going to bring in some grid paper. And because these are photopolymer stamps, I want to bring in a pierce mat as well. The reason why I'm going to bring in some grid paper is because I'm going to put my pierce mat underneath it. Okay, so I've got my cushion, but then I'm also protecting my work surface because we're going to be stamping off the edges of our paper. Okay, so let's do this. And now let me see here. We have hearts. We have peppermints. We have marshmallows. Okay, so here is your next question. Are you ready? Get your fingers on your keyboards. Get ready to go. What are we going to stamp here? Are we going to stamp all marshmallows? Are we going to stamp candy canes? Or do you want hearts? You get 3 options this time, and we'll see how this one's going to go. This one may be a bit harder for us to get matched up. We'll see. Okay, so candy canes, hearts, and marshmallows. What are we going to stamp in a variety? Actually, you know what? Hold on. Let me take marshmallows out of the equation because obviously marshmallows on white paper, duh. What was I thinking? It'll be kind of plain. Okay, so let's stick with hearts or candy canes. All right. Now we will stamp a couple of marshmallows though, because I mean, you can't have hot cocoa without marshmallows, right? But let me know if we're doing hearts or if we're doing candy canes. And while you're figuring that out, grab some ink. What was my base color? Laura, the base color is early espresso. And then the next color is copper clay. Hearts. Okay, look at you guys matching up and not giving me a hard time. I love it. That's wonderful. Okay. Hearts it is. Now then, immediately another question. Okay? I know it's crazy. You guys are getting all the questions tonight. All right. So this is our card base. Okay? And we are going to be putting these layers like this. And we're going to have these little hearts, just like that all over it. That was a technical sound, by the way. Okay, what I need to know is, are we doing cherry cobbler hearts? That would be super cool. Or are we doing traditional or more traditional real red? Okay, so red or cherry hearts. Red or cherry hearts. Let me know. I'll set that right there. Red or cherry. Okay. I'm going to tidy up a little bit of my space while I'm waiting for you guys, because every single Thursday I have Think Tank Thursday, and I scatter everything all over the table. And then when the live is done, I have one hot mess. So I am going to just tidy a little bit as I go instead of waiting until it's all done. And then we'll go from there. Okay, look at that. You guys are still in sync with each other. That's wonderful. Cherry hearts. Wonderful. Miss Laura says, what is on the outside of the card? So we are using the More Than Autumn Stamp and Die bundle, and we are going to be creating a hot cocoa card. So we are going to be using, of course, the cup. We'll probably be using whipped cream, maybe some marshmallows, maybe just marshmallows, and no whipped cream. There's a hint, hint, wink, wink. That'll be an option for you here in a minute. But we are doing a hot cocoa card. So we are designing this card now. And I don't know, Miss Laura, have you been on my Think Tank Thursday before? I'm not sure if you have, but we designed the card together. So I present a couple of options for you, and then you guys vote. You type in which choice you prefer, and then we go from there and work from there. So I'm gonna take this and just super cute. I'm going to try not to get them too close together, because honestly, that is one of my biggest problems, putting my stampies too close together sometimes. And then, you got a ton of craziness all together and it takes forever. So we're going to try to do this. I think we've got a good spacing going on here. Okay. There we go. Hey, Estrada, how are you, lovey? We haven't gone too far. You've not missed too much. We're making a fall card, a hot cocoa card. And we're using a brand new Stamp and Die bundle called More Than Autumn. Super stinking cute Stamp and Die bundle. And we're making a double Z fold card. Okay. Now let me just a tiny right there on that one. Okay, not too bad. Now let's do this one. And I think we could probably put these two together so that we could do that. Of course, it's going to bounce, so just got to put it back. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Aside from the fact that it's hotter than blazes here, which I know you know all about, ready for fall, and we are willing it to be so, right? Okay, there we go. Now don't get crazy on me. All right, there. Yeah, there. One thing that I always forget when I'm doing this is I've been told before that if instead of turning your block, you turn your paper, you get a more random stamping. And I know that that's true. I know it's true. But I always find myself doing what I didn't mean to do anyway and keep turning my stamp instead of the block. I mean, my stamp instead of the paper. Sorry. So let's see if we can remember to turn the paper instead of the stamp and see how that works. Not too bad. Has anybody else ever heard that about not turning your stamp, but instead turning your paper? It's kind of a cool little tip, and it works pretty well, I think. All right, so now we have this, and I'm going to close this up so I don't get ink on me because, I mean, I'm just saying that cherry cobbler ink could really get everywhere, right? Okay, so let me set that aside. Take these off. Oh, Laura, you haven't heard of that? Yeah, I don't even remember where I heard it, but it's been a long time. Many years. But ooh, look at us go. Okay. All right. So far, so good, right? Okie dokie. Now then, I do know already that, of course, we will have a white piece of paper in here for our sentiment and, our little notes or whatever. Not necessarily our sentiment, but, for us to be able to write a note to whoever the recipient of the card is. So let's go ahead and put that in there. And I think that we can probably go ahead and attach the heart layers to the strip, but I want to ask you a question. So here's your next quiz question. I feel like the hearts may be just a little bit stark against the white. Like the white and the red are kind of like bold, right? So do we want to stick with this beautiful bold, or should I pick up my blending brush for the cherry cobbler and maybe blend, or the copper clay actually, and blend the edges? Okay, so your question is, do we keep it plain or do we soften the edges? Okay, so plain or soften the edges. All right. Tell me which one we are going to do. Okay. Plain or soften the edges. And I'm going to clean this stamp because I'm telling you that cherry cobbler can get you from anywhere. There we go. Okay. Soften the edges, Dawn says. Okay. All right, soften the edges. You guys are still on par. I'm loving it. Trying not to get used to it. I know you guys are about to lower the boom on me, but okay. Next question immediately is, are we going to soften the edges with cherry cobbler, or are we going to soften the edges with copper clay? Now this one's a little more challenging, isn't it? So are we going to soften the edges with copper clay, or are we going to soften the edges with cherry cobbler? What say you, friends? Cherry cobbler or copper clay? Copper clay, copper clay. Oh, you guys are so good. All right. I love it. All right, copper clay it is. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my paper again, and I'm going to bring all of these white pieces, and I'm also going to bring this piece in because that'll help tie everything in together, right? Okay, I'm using the copper clay ink and my blending brush. I absolutely love these because the bristles are super soft, so it really gives you a nice soft edge. And if you've never used blending brushes before, they're super fun, okay? And they're going to add a really nice texture and just a nice finished look to your project. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to kind of rub the brush around on the ink. I like to focus on the outer edges because, you know, when you stamp, you tend to stamp from the center. And so it leaves this nice untouched ink on the outer edges, right? And then I don't know, it's just my thing maybe, but I tap off the edge just a little bit because that tiny little bit of ink is actually enough to make a dark spot on your paper. So I like to do that. And then I'm going to start just off the edge of the paper first in swirly motion and work my way onto the cardstock. Okay, so it will look like this. Now, I'm not wanting to put a whole lot on here. You can always add more if you need it, but you cannot take it off once it's there. So it's always best to go light first and then add more later. Okay, now ink up a little bit more. And there we go. Okay, I think this is going to be really pretty with those hearts, and it's going to soften it up a lot. A little bit of ink. Okay, there we go. And I'm just going back over spots that feel a little bit lighter and kind of trying to add a little bit more of an edge to it, okay? Because I was really soft-handed here. I want my edges to have that kind of dimensional, like that darker edge to it. So I'm just going to go back over it a tiny bit. There we go. That's better. That's better. I'm a little extra cautious on live, especially because, you know, if you've watched other content creators, I'm sure that you've experienced at some point or another, someone makes the comment that if it can happen, it's going to happen while you're live. And so if I take just a second longer to do a nice light touch, then it'll turn out okay. All right, and then that's going to go right there, and already you can see that it's given it a much nicer, softer tone, okay? Now let's go to our hearts. I'm going to ink up my brush. Okay, coming around the edges. Oh, girls. Ooh, Fran. This is beautiful. Y'all made a good choice. You really did. Oh, wow. So pretty. Okay. This is really pretty, guys. Well done. Well done. As you can see, I'm going a little farther in towards the middle than I did with the background panel, the sentiment panel, just because, I wanted to leave plenty of white open for our for writing on it. And this way, this part kind of softens it up enough. You can see there's a really dramatic difference there. And I really like that. I think that that is very, very nice. All right. Okay. Nice and easy. What do you guys think so far? Are you liking it? Okay, here we go. Okay, there's that one. And there we go. So pretty. Oh, that is so, so pretty. Ah, Sherry, you love it. Wonderful. Yeah, this is beautiful, isn't it? Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. Okay, now I think it's safe to say that we can go ahead and attach these layers. So let me do that. There we go. No, a tiny little bit from the ink pad went spotty. Don't do that to me. Okay, here we go. And there we are. Okay, now then, I am really liking where this is going. This is nice. All right, so if we have our white layer here, okay, and we can put this layer right there like that. Your center folds will line up with each other and the edges of the strip will line up with the edges of the card, and it will be like so. Okay. Now, for the design of the card, we've got the body of it and it looks absolutely beautiful. Y'all did a great job. We have some little cups here. And that'll be great. Maybe we do a couple of little cups and then a sentiment or something like that. My question is, do we want to put a little something on this? Or maybe we just leave this blank because there's not a whole lot of room to write on, and we can put our sentiment on the front of the card. Now, this card is a little bit interesting because you guys have been around me. You know that I always say no naked insides and no naked envelopes. But this card technically has a decorative inside, what I would consider a decorative inside, right? So it could potentially stay plain, and we can just dress up everything here and maybe have a little something hanging over the edge. Okay, what do you guys think about that? So are we going to stamp something on the white, or are we going to leave it blank? That's the question. Stamp it or leave it. Okay, you guys decide that, and I will start fiddling with things. Okay, so are we going to stamp it or are we going to leave it? You know, we might be able, since we're doing the hot cocoa, what if, let me see, where's it at? Sometimes it's hard to read them backwards, isn't it? All right. Oh, look at you guys. Laura, Dawn, and Sherry. Stamp it, stamp it, stamp it. Okay, well, how about this? Very good. Okay, so what if we stamped hot cocoa? Okay, so let's just pretend like that's already glued down, and this is already glued down, and we stamp hot cocoa right here, and we put this calls for on a little label here, and a couple of cups of hot cocoa right there. So it would say this calls for, and a couple of cups hot cocoa. What do you think? Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you like that. Tell me yes. Say yes, yes, if you like that. And if you don't, tell me that too. You won't hurt my feelings. It's okay. That's what Creative Minds and Think Tank Thursday is all about, is discussing these ideas together, bouncing ideas off each other, and coming up with something absolutely amazing together, right? Okay, let me see here. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, very good, very good. All right, so I'm going to get my hot cocoa on a block here. Okay, now I need to leave that sit. And I need to put this here approximately where it's going to go. I could go ahead and glue it down, but just in case I smudge it, I want to be able to pull it off again. Okay, now, next question. Are you ready? Are we stamping hot cocoa in early espresso, which matches the card base, or cherry cobbler, which matches the hearts? Espresso or cherry, which are we going to stamp hot cocoa in? Okay. Comment down below and let me know. Cherry or espresso, hot cocoa. All right. Sherry says early espresso. Dawn says espresso. Goodness, look at this. You guys are on it. I'm still going to be completely in awe over the fact that you guys are picking the same things. I think that it's really cool when we're doing a project, and especially when there are so many of us doing the project together and we're on the same page, we're one mind melded together, and the project just flows together, right? Like this one seems to have been doing. It is absolutely incredible how it's working out. Okay, so, oh, I need my pierce mat. And this time I don't need the paper under it because I'm going to be stamping directly on the white. So I want to make sure that that's straight, and I want to make sure that I know exactly where my little strip here is going to be. So it doesn't need to be attached yet, but it does need to be seated. So that way I can make sure to stamp just above it. All right, so tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. Let's tap, tap, tap just a little bit more. It's not quite even. There we go. I think maybe I need to re-ink my pad. There we go. Okay, hot cocoa right about there. Okay, give it a nice even press. That's so cute. Oh my gosh, that's adorable. That is cute. Y'all, that is so cute. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to be really careful with this for just a minute because espresso tends to be a little juicy and takes a second longer to dry. But I'm hoping since the ink pad needs re-inked that it's maybe on the drier side already. But I'm still going to be careful because that would be sad if we get all this done and I smudge it. Wouldn't it be sad? Okay, just like that. I'm not even going to touch it. Okay, there we go. All right, now I like to use tear and tape or liquid glue for this part. And I'm going to go ahead and just use liquid glue because we're going to be able to move right on to another part of the project. So what I want to do is, as I had mentioned, the wider side of the card base will be on the right. So the wider side of the strip will be on the left. Okay, now if you wanted to do it the opposite way, you totally could, but regardless, whatever way you wanted to do it, that remains a fact. Okay, so the wider side is opposite itself. All right, now then, we've got that there. I'm going to add a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue right here. And then right here. Okay. And I'm going to focus my attention on that middle seam first. Okay. And then, not that end, but this end, because we want to make sure that our hot cocoa is not covered up and it's not too low. All right, so right about there. Okay. And then this side will just follow. Okay, is that straight? Looks pretty straight. Okay, there we go. Now give it a little press just to make sure that it stays put. All right. Bring that down just a tiny, tiny bit. There we go. There we go. All right, and then to make sure that the card folds like it's supposed to. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness, already this is really, really cute, isn't it? Okay, I'm going to set that aside for a bit, and I'm going to bring in my pierce mat, and now we need to decide if we're going to stamp the cups in white cardstock and color them with blends, or what I think would probably be better is if we took some cardstock and stamped the cup directly on the cardstock, right? So the question will be, do we want cardstock colored cardstock, or do we want to color with markers? Okay, so cardstock or blends? That's our question. Coloring with cardstock or blends. Now, it doesn't have to be Lost Lagoon. We can figure that out with our next question. But are we stamping directly on the colored cardstock, or are we coloring with blends? All right, Laura says cardstock. Okay. Set this here, set this here. Okay. Sherry says cardstock. Look at you guys go. Okay. The next question will be, what color do we want to do it? How would you feel about, let's see here. Oh, that looks yellow on the screen. That's actually peach pie. I don't know if it shows up as peach pie in the camera, but it's peach pie. Okay, so we have peach pie and Lost Lagoon, and we have, let me grab it here. We have crumb cake. Not crumb cake, pecan pie. And also we do have crumb cake. Okay, so let me see here. I'm thinking crumb cake and Lost Lagoon, or crumb cake and pecan pie. No, what did I say? Not crumb cake and pecan pie. Oh my gosh. Okay, listen. Tell me, tell me two colors. Peach, pecan, lagoon, or crumb. Peach, brown, blue, or crumb. Tan, beige, khaki. Not to confuse you all up. But let's pick two colors, or do we want them both the same color? That'd be kind of boring, but we could. I think this is pecan and lagoon. This is crumb and lagoon. This is peach and crumb, or peach and pecan. Sherry says Lost Lagoon and pecan pie. That's these two right here. That was the first one that I pulled out as well. Dawn says peach and Lost Lagoon. So that's this one. Okay, so now that there have been two choices made, I need a tiebreaker. Are we doing Lost Lagoon and pecan, or are we doing peach and Lost Lagoon? So Lost Lagoon is going to stay. Are we doing peach or pecan? Peach or pecan? Okay. Oh, Dawn says, nope, do Lost Lagoon and pecan. She changed her mind. Okay, very good. All right, now then, let's stamp. And I'm going to stamp these in early espresso ink. so that it kind of ties back in right with our early espresso ink here. Okay, so I'll take my cup, early espresso ink, tap, 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 not smush, 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 and I'll stamp one there. And then stamp one there. Okay. Now let me trim these down. Oh, you got busy for a bit, Estrada. That's okay. All right, here we go. Now I'm gonna step just right here so that maybe the table won't bounce as much if I'm die cutting off to the side. But I'm gonna die cut these cups right quick, okay? So I'm still right here, but let's see, where's my cup? There it is. Let's see if maybe this helps us just a little bit. Okay, now unfortunately there's only one cup die in the set, so when you have two cups, it's going to take me just a minute to die cut both of them, but that's okay. Talk amongst yourselves. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, that's not really helping at all with the rattle, is it? So the problem is actually my little document camera. It's not quite as stable as my Archon mount is, and so it does have a little wiggle in it. But you know, it's whatever. It is what it is. Okay, and then we'll go here with the pecan. Okay. All right. Estrada says, do you do Halloween crafts? My friend, yes, I do. Yes, I do, actually. You were working on some, I think, the last time, or you were getting ready to work on some the last week. Is that right? Here we go. And let me clean that stamp. All right. Okay, friends. Are we doing whipped cream? I am indeed a huge Halloween fan. Absolutely. Okay. We have whipped cream here, and we have marshmallows here. We can do either whipped cream or marshmallows, or I might be able to cut apart a couple of the marshmallows and tuck them on here. Okay, so are we doing whipped cream or marshmallows or both? Let me know. Strata says for me it's between Halloween and Christmas. I love Christmas, but I really enjoy the Halloween crafts. Christmas time is a little bit chaotic, and I spend more of my time doing Christmas cards, you know, making and sending out Christmas cards rather than making Christmas crafts. But Halloween crafts, that I do a lot. Okay, everybody is in agreement with that as well. We are doing both. Okay, whipped cream and marshmallows. Yes, we will. All right. Now, the next question. You guys are getting so many questions today, right? All right, so the next question is, as you know, whipped cream and marshmallows are both white. right? So we need to know what we're stamping it in. Are we going to stamp it in the slightest of a crumb cake shade or the slightest of a gray granite shade? So this one will have more of the grayish tone and this one will have more of the brownish tone. I tend to think that the crumb cake would be better because, you know, when you have a cup of hot cocoa, the chocolate seeps up into the whipped cream and marshmallows, right? And so they get a little bit of a brownish tint to them. So I think that that's what I would choose, but I will give you guys the option of gray granite or crumb cake to stamp our marshmallows and whipped cream in. Okay, so let me know that right quick. And I'm going to get some white cardstock here for us to stamp on. Dawn says crumb cake. Yep. And Sherry as well. Okay, very good. Listen, paper, don't fall over. Okay, and Sherry T, also crumb cake. Very good. Okay. Then let's do this. And I think I'd like to test out and see if we want to stamp it solid or we could stamp it off just the tiniest bit. Can you see that? And then let me show you what the whipped cream will look like. Stamped and stamped off one time, just a little bit. So are we doing full strength or are we stamping off? Full strength or stamping off? Okay, you guys can see there. Full strength or stamping off? Oh, you guys didn't say the same thing this time, so we're waiting for a tiebreaker. All right, Miss Dawn did it. Stamping off. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Listen, we've got a tie again. All right, I'm going to do both of them so you guys can see. There we go. So this is what it will actually look like on the Stampin' Up! Paper. Okay. So if anyone would like to change their mind one way or the other, comment and let me know. And I will go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp both again. That way they're ready. And then also with this one, maybe, and then there's the marshmallows. Okay. We shall see. All right, friends, I'm going to do a little bit of fussy cutting because, oh, Mama says stamp off too. Okay. I don't know if it's going to be any quicker to die cut each of these. All right, so we have an extra stamp off. All right, then we will take this one and this one. And this one. And maybe we want to do both. Maybe we want the whipped cream to be solid and the marshmallows to be stamped off. Or maybe we want the whipped cream to be stamped off and the marshmallows to be solid. Is that an option you guys are interested in? Come on now, light. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Come on. Focus without it being there. White is such an awful thing. There we go. There's stamped off cream and stamped solid marshmallows. And there is stamped solid or stamped full cream and stamped off marshmallows. Actually, I like that. Okay. Alrighty. All right. Let's take this, take this, take this. Okay. Oh, I just saw my car move. Okay. Now, yes, there are dies for this, but I'm feeling like the time it takes me to line up the die and the table rattling and all of that stuff, it's just as well to go ahead and do this. But know that there is a die and it will probably look a little bit more fabulous than my fussy cutting will, but it'll be okay, right? We'll get it. Sherry T says full whipped cream and stamped off marshmallows. You know, Sherry, I really think that I agree with you. I think that having one as one and one as the other is going to help it kind of fit together. Okay, so let's see here. How do I want to do? All right, I'm actually just going to be cutting a few of the marshmallows anyway, because I don't think, let's see. Let's see if we can cut the whole thing and see how it looks. I don't think that we'll be able to make it look good if we just pile it in front. But if we cut them apart, oof, light on the eyes, please. There we go. Okay. Yep. Here we go. The Sherrys are agreeing on the full whipped cream and the lighter of the marshmallows. Yes, yes, yes. You know, it's funny, right? You see one thing and you're like, yeah, that's it. That looks nice. And then something else pops up and you go, oh man, yeah, but that looks nice too. Okay. So I'm not thinking that the marshmallows will be able to just sit in front of the whipped cream. I think I'm going to have to cut them apart and just sprinkle them on like we had discussed in the first place. So as I'm cutting out the whole thing just to check and see, I don't think that it's going to work as one piece, but we're gonna check it out and see just to be sure. All right. Let me see if that helps at all. A little bit, yeah. Yeah, see that doesn't work. Come on now. There we go. There we go. I mean, it's okay, but I think maybe just sprinkling a few marshmallows would be better. All right. Let me get my shades on, my eyeballs. This is fine detail work here. And all right, there we go. There's a marshmallow. Oh yeah, that's better. It is better doing them individually. I know you guys can't see it just now with the glare and all that stuff. I'll show it to you here in just a second. Okay. I wish there were individual marshmallows that I could just stamp. This is turning into a little bit more of a labor of love, but it is really cute. So I'm just going to do 3 marshmallows, y'all, for the sake of time and my sanity and yours. I'm just going to do 3. Okay. Go. Yeah. There we are. Whoops. As long as I don't throw it around. Okay. And come in here. This is not at all an awkward position. There we go. Okay. Yeah. That looks much better. Much better. Okay. So let me scoot these off just a little bit. Go on. My little silicone mat likes to hold on to paper, so I use my ruler to take care of it. Okay, now then, I'm gonna do just a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue. I suppose we could do some dimensionals here, but honestly, I think the card will be a little bit too thick if we do all of that, especially with the fold of the card. So generally speaking, I would like to have dimensionals because I really like a lot of dimension. But this time, I'm just going to put the marshmallows on directly. Now we can pop up the whipped cream from the cup if you guys want to do that. But let's contain just a little bit. Okay. Just a little bit. All right. And does it show better on blue? There you go. So you can see the marshmallows there. All right. Now, stamped solid of the whipped cream, we said. Yes, let me get that fussy cut here. Come on, curve around, please. There we go. Notice that I'm turning my paper more than I am my snips. Again, the same kind of concept as with the stamping. You get a better fussy cut when you do that. There we go. Okay. And a couple of those stamped off marshmallows. All right, here we go. This time I don't have to take the time of cutting the whole thing. We already know we only want a few of them. Tiny. This is obviously not a card that you want to make 100 of. Though if you want to, I highly recommend that you get the bundle on the 4th and that you get started now. Because it may take you a little while if you plan to do 100 of them. Okay, that's just a side note there, free of charge. This is really cute though. I admit it is adorable. But yeah, you would definitely want to. Oh, Estrada, you and your stickles, friend. You and your stickles. Yes, you're absolutely right, though. It would be super stinking cute. It really would. We have some stuff Well, actually, I don't think that we still have it. I think it's retired, but I have some, but then it would be contraband to share it with you. But it's kind of like puff paint. It's in a little tiny bottle like Stickles, and it's got a really fine tipped applicator. And you heat it up with a heat gun, and it bubbles and foams up. Wouldn't that be cool? That would make really cute marshmallows. Maybe for this one card after I'm finished with it, maybe I'll go back and do that and I'll post a picture for you, but I'll try not to play with contraband on my live, okay? Oh, oh, shit. I don't believe you. Estrada says, I promise I don't add Stickles to everything. Oh, goodness. Okay, so here's a question for you, darling. Do you use some Tim Holtz Distress inks and oxides? Do you use that kind of stuff? Are you into that kind of stuff? Right, Sherry? Yeah, it would be really cool to have the puff in there, wouldn't it? Yeah. Okay. One more little marshmallow here. All right. You know, ladies and gentlemen, all things considered, we've been live for an hour and a half, and that's actually not a bad amount of time for a fancy fold card design from scratch. So we're doing pretty well. Okay, now we can pop this up on dimensionals, or we can glue the whipped cream, that's it, directly to the cup and then pop up the whole cup. I tend to think that we should do it that way, just because we're going to want the cup popped up, and the whipped cream is going to look popped up once the cup is popped up on dimensionals too. So I think that we should glue the whipped cream directly to the cup and then pop up that whole thing. And also, it's not necessarily going in this spot. That's just where it's laying. Okay. All right. Also, let me just see, where did I put my paper? And I want to, if we're going for gusto, why not? I'm going to take some basic white cardstock and early espresso and our cup, and I'm going to stamp 2 right there. Now you can see that the cup is off the edges. I don't care about the cup. I'm looking for the belly bands, right? Okay, now while that is drying for just a second, let me clean off that stamp. And Sherry says, glue the whipped cream. Yes, I believe that is a good plan. I'm going to cut that so I don't get anything on the rest of that piece. And there they are, my cups and the whipped cream. Okay. Put just a tiny bit of glue right at the top of your cup. Okay, just like that. And then lay the whipped cream right there. Okay, super cute. Okay. Do you do any kind of scrapbooking, Estrada, or is it all like junk journaling type stuff? And also, anyone else who's in here, do you guys scrapbook? You know that Stampin' Up! Is starting to carry scrapbooking supplies now. And we just got a new little mini brochure that's going to go live on the 4th of September, as well as the holiday catalog. And it's got some really cute scrapbooking things in it. Okay, I am going to take, not this, not that. I am going to take copper clay ink and the blending brush, and because I'm tying everything together with the copper clay that we had already brushed around the panels, I'm going to take a little bit of copper clay and I'm going to add a little bit to the belly band. Okay. That one was a little more than I wanted to do, so I'm going to do it a little darker. We can improv. We can do that kind of thing. Okay, now add just a little bit more to darken it up just a little more. There we go. Okay. All right, junk journaling and mixed media. How cool. All right, I'm going to cut these out. And I'm cutting right on the line because this is a belly band. I don't want any other color to show outside the edges. I want it to look like a belly band that's stuck on the cup, right? So we'll just do that. Okay. All right. Now while I'm doing this, let's see here. Do we want to put hearts like we did there, maybe on one of the cups or both of the cups? What do you think? Should we put hearts on the belly band or should we leave it? Okay, so it'll look like that. Isn't that neat? And it looks really white in the camera on my end. I don't know if it does on your end, but it's not actually, I promise. Okay, so while you're deciding that, I will go ahead and finish cutting out the other belly band. Estrada says, add the hearts. Absolutely. Sherry T says a heart on each cup. Okay, very good. I like that idea too. Yes, very nice. Okay. All right, so a heart on each cup then. Let's do one on each side. How's that? Where's my cherry cobbler? And the little heart. Cute, cute, cute. Super stinking cute. Those are really, really adorable, folks. They really are. Ooh, let's do the lighter one on the darker cup and the darker one on the lighter cup. There we go. Okay, now then, a little bit of glue to attach this piece. We're getting there, friends. We are getting there. No, it seems like it's taken us a minute, but we have all these cute little things that we are adding onto our card, and it is going to really make a gorgeous card. Okay. All right. There we go. Stinking cute. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's adorable. All right. So the card will be folded as such. Yeah. And we could put those here. We can add some kind of a circle detail, something or another. We already mentioned doing this calls for, so let's make a little label so that will help us kind of decide. Oh, let's see if I can get it to stay relative to that. Let me see here. A little white strip, please. I have all kinds of these little 1/2-inch strips of white cardstock from when I cut my card layers, right? So let's see if that one will work. Where this calls for. There it is. Okay. All right. And a block. Stay put. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do this one in espresso, just like we've done the other, so that, again, it's tying it all in. Okay. And let's see here. Okay. I don't like it. Let me turn it over. Magic double-sided paper. Okay. Always a good thing. Here we go. That's better. All right. Now then, let me bring in, stay put, don't fall. All right. Bring the card back. Okay. Super stinking cute. Okay. Like that. Maybe. And the sentiment strip. And how about that? That's cute. Okay, and dimensionals. Okay. All right, now this calls for top or bottom? Top or bottom? What do you think? Do I need to lay it down here so we can see better? Top or bottom? What do you think, folks? Hi, Valerie. How are you? All right. Valerie says top. Very good. Okay. Now, the good thing about doing that, I know that's not straight. Hold on, friend. Here we go. The good thing about doing that on top is that if we like where the cups are, I can take some linen thread and tie a super cute loopy bow right here. And that would be adorable. What do you think? Okay, so the question is, do we like the cups where they are? Yes or no? Okay. Are they good? I bet we could even stamp some marshmallows next to the word hot cocoa. Oh, that would be adorable, wouldn't it? Uh-huh. Or above it, like the hot cocoa is the top of the coffee cup or a cocoa cup. Mm, it does have a nice balance, doesn't it? Thank you so much. Yes, okay. All right, so we like this. Okay. I'll never get it back the same way again. Y'all know how it is, right? You put something somewhere and it is gorgeous, and then you glue it down and it's not at all. Okay, you a little more, you a little more. There we go. There we go. Not too shabby. Just a tiny bit. There. Okay. All right. Now I will go ahead and pop up this one. But it will add bulk, okay? So you guys just want to keep that in mind. If you're going to make this card, it will add some bulk by adding dimensionals. Now I got to be careful about where I'm putting them because it's just kind of hanging out on that little strip there. Okay. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Right? Okay. All right. Now, that is so stinking cute. And FYI, I'm open this up and this is a really cute scrapbooking layout area. Like imagine a 12 by 12 piece of cardstock behind here. You got your little banner across the bottom. Hello. Oh, so cute. This is such a cute set. I love it. Thank you guys so much for all your help so far. Okay, we've got just a couple of things left. I'm going to tie a little double loopy bow in the linen thread and attach it right here. Okay, but while I'm doing that, do we want to put a little bit of marshmallow maybe right beside the word hot cocoa? Or like I mentioned, piling it up on top of the word hot cocoa, like if hot cocoa was the top of the cocoa cup. What do you think? So yes or no marshmallows, and yes to the side, yes on top, or no. Okay? You guys let me know, and I'm going to make my double loopy bow. And while you're typing, if you're interested in the double loopy bow, I will show you how I make mine. Okay? All right, so I'm taking my linen thread, and I like to leave a tail that will fit about to the end of my hand. And I'm going to do a figure 8 between my first and my third fingers. So I'll go around my first finger, and then in front of the middle finger, around the third finger, back up in front of the middle finger again. You can see there. Around my index finger, now it has 2 loops on it. Back around, and then down. And then back up and end at the top, okay? You want both of your tails to be at opposite ends, and you want 2 loops and 2 loops, okay? Now, I'm going to pinch that for just a second so that I can cut the end here. And I've still got my loops. Everything is figure 8 the same way. I'm going to take this tail and I'm going to tuck it in between my first and middle finger there so that well, maybe I am. There we go. Come on. And it's going to wrap all the way around. You see that it's going all the way around all of the loops and all of the threads. I'll take it around the whole thing one more time. Okay, and cinch it tight. Now I have 2 loops, I have 2 loops, and I have my tails at opposite ends, right? Now I'm going to tie the tails into a knot. And yes, if you had a helper now, that would be very, very handy, but I do not. So I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed. There we go. All right. And there it is. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to pull on the loops because they are literally just woven back and forth. So if you give a pull on one, then it'll come loose from the other end. Okay, so don't mess with your loops once you get your knot tightened up in the center. Okay, just slide them off. And then you have a really cute double loopy bow. Okay. All right, now I like to attach this with a glue dot. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to goober up my little glue dot into a little ball because with the linen thread, it's really fine. And, you know, the glue dots, even though they're mini glue dots, they're too big for the center of that knot. So, okay, and then we can do that. Or we can pull it off to the side just a little bit more, I think maybe, and go right there. And we can go in between the two. Okay, so let's see. I think that is really cute. So I'm going to leave it like that. And then I'll just trim up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Super cute. All right, do you love it? It is a really pretty card, isn't it? Really pretty card. Now, of course, you could add some bling if you want to. Bling is never a bad thing. I have some here that I colored with pumpkin pie, but I think that's going to be a little too muchness. So we can do some clear ones, or we can color them. We can color them with, what's that color again? Copper clay. Or we can leave it alone because it's very cute. So, do we need bling or no bling? That is the question. Bling or no bling? I see you guys are loving it. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for all your help. Look what we created. Isn't it great? You guys are awesome. I really, really enjoyed tonight's project. You guys made it so much fun. I love interacting with all of you and just having fun, hanging out together, creating, nothing super rushed, just hanging out and having a good time. All right, I'm seeing that there's no bling necessary. I think you guys are absolutely right. All right, there we go. Okay, friends, so there you have it. Now, again, this card is from the More Than Autumn Stamp and Die Bundle, which will be released on September 4th. So you guys can check out my website for that information. Also, here's a fun thing for you. This is going to be the theme for my September stamp camp. Yay! I'm so excited about it. As you can tell, this bundle creates absolutely gorgeous projects, and I am already playing with some amazing designs for y'all. The Latte Love class was so much fun. Everybody had a great time. And so I'm already working on September's stamp camp. So the More Than Autumn stamp camp, it is a hybrid stamp camp. So if you're local to me, you can come to the studio and you can hang out in person. And let me just turn this so you guys can see me instead of my hands moving like I'm Italian, because I'm not actually. All right, there we go. Ooh, goodness. Cross the eyes and all the things. Okay, so as I was saying, the Latte Love Stamp Camp was so much fun. And the More Than Autumn Stamp Camp is going to be absolutely amazing. All right, Miss Valerie, have a good one. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope you'll join us next week. The More Than Autumn Stamp Camp is going to be live. Actually, you can go ahead and start signing up for it now. So if you're interested in it, send me a message and let me know. I just posted the event on my Facebook page this afternoon. So you'll be able to find it there, find out all the details. We will be using the More Than Autumn Stamp and Die Bundle. And as we did with the Latte Love collection, there will be 8 absolutely gorgeous projects. I have already started collecting goodies for the boxes, and I am so excited for it. It's going to be so much fun. So the stamp camp is definitely a combination of cards and 3D projects. In the 3D projects, they always have some kind of little goodies in them. I don't have you make a beautiful little treat holder and not give you treats to put in it. That's just wrong. So you get treats, you get projects, you get PDF and video tutorials. We have a private Facebook group for everybody to participate in, and I include some bonus stuff as well. interactive things, prize patrol, lots of fun. So if you're local, you can come to the studio and stamp with me. If you're not local, it's a-okay. You can sign up and I will ship it to you, and you can participate in the Facebook group that way. So you'll be able to get the PDF, video tutorials, 8 projects. You get approximately $30 worth of Stampin' Up! Product and goodies, and it is absolutely amazing. So if you're interested, you can head over to my Facebook page and check it out, okay? So go to the events tab, find More Than Autumn Hybrid Stamp Camp, and you'll find all the details in the description box, okay? So absolutely wonderful. I hope you guys check it out. I mean, this was just an on-the-fly project that we created together. Can you imagine what the projects for the Stamp Camp are going to be like? Oh my gosh, so amazing. So amazing. And even if you're Team Apple, I still love you. And there will be some fun things for Team Apple as well. It's not going to be all Team Pumpkin, though I'm just saying you're wrong, but I still love you. All right, guys. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me this evening. We made a gorgeous, gorgeous project together. I absolutely love it. It is beautiful. Thank you so much for hanging out and having fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that I will see you guys here again next Thursday night at 7 p.m. All right. Have a wonderful night, friends.